In the crowded city of Liang, where neon lights flickered like restless dreams and students carried the weight of expectations heavier than their backpacks, Lucky Zhang walked with an anxious heartbeat echoing in his chest. The day was supposed to decide his future. The exam results were displayed on a giant digital screen outside the school gate, and hundreds of students stood there with trembling hopes. Lucky searched for his name, muttering small prayers under his breath. His eyes scanned the bright board, and for a moment his breath stopped. There it was, his name, followed by a word he never imagined seeing in his life file. The world suddenly felt too loud. The chatter, the whispers, the gasps from students around him pierced his ears. Lucky failed. Someone said. No way, he wasn't great, but failing, whispered another. Lucky's hands turned cold as shame crawled up his spine. He stepped back from the crowd and walked away before anyone could see the storm hiding behind his blank expression. He wandered through the streets without direction, the city lights turning blurry as his eyes filled. His phone buzzed, but he didn't look. Messages from his mother flashed on the screen, asking for his result. He ended up near the quiet riverside bridge, sitting alone, his head lowered between his knees. Why am I such a disappointment? He whispered, voice shaking. That's when he heard a gentle but firm voice behind him. Failing one exam doesn't erase your worth. Lucky looked up to find Anjali, the Indian exchange student known for her calm demeanor and silent intensity. They had never spoken deeply before, but something in her eyes told him she understood more than she let on. Lucky tried to laugh it off, but his voice cracked. You don't get it. My parents expect me to become someone I'm not. They think I'm preparing for engineering, but I don't even like it. Anjali sat beside him, placing her bag on the ground. My parents want me to become a doctor, she said softly. But I want to make films, real films. So yes, I understand you more than you think. For the first time that day, Lucky felt seen. They sat silently for a while, the wind brushing past them like a quiet witness. Finally, Anjali stood and extended her hand toward him. Come on, if you fail today, I'll help you rise tomorrow. Deal. Lucky looked at her hand, unsure if he deserved kindness, but something about her confidence made him believe. He took her hand slowly. Deal. From that day onward, things changed. They began meeting at a small cafe near the school. Books spread across the table, Lucky struggling to focus while Anjali disciplined him with her sharp but caring tone. You study like someone who wants to escape, she complained once. Lucky smirked. Because I do. She rolled her eyes but smiled when she thought he wasn't looking. Over time, the bond between them formed like a river carving its way through stone, not rushed, but steady, gentle. Unavoidable study sessions turned into shared snacks, late-night conversations, and accidental laughter. Lucky started noticing the way Anjali brushed her hair when stressed, or how her eyes lit up whenever she talked about films. Anjali, on the other hand, began observing how Lucky learned faster when he believed in himself, and how easily he could brighten up a gloomy evening with just a silly expression. They never talked about it, but something unspoken grew between them, warm and fragile. But happiness rarely comes without shadows. One evening, Lucky found Anjali on the rooftop, tears streaking her cheeks. She quickly turned away, wiping them. Go away, Lucky, I'm fine. But he didn't leave. He stood beside her silently until her defenses broke. My parents want me to return to India next month, she whispered. They think filmmaking is a waste of time. Lucky felt something break inside him. The thought of her leaving scared him more than any exam ever could. You helped me fight for my future, he said. Let me help you fight for yours. The next day he came to her with a bold, crazy idea. Let's make a short film, he declared. Not for marks or competition, just to show everyone, including your parents, what you can do. Anjali stared at him like he was out of his mind. Lucky nodded confidently. Not just direct. I want you to shine. Despite her doubts, she finally agreed, and their new journey began. The next week was chaos wrapped in beauty. They filmed on streets, rooftops, parks, anywhere the light felt right. Anjali directed passionately, her eyes glowing with purpose. Lucky acted for her scenes, constantly messing up lines, making her scold him but secretly smile. They ate cheap noodles during late-night editing sessions, arguing over shots and laughing over mistakes. While reviewing footage one midnight, Anjali fell asleep on the table. Lucky placed his jacket over her and whispered softly, You changed me, Anjali. I don't know what I'll do if you leave. Finally, the day arrived. Their short film, titled Dreamers Don't Fail, premiered at the school festival. As the screen lit up with Anjali's vision and Lucky's performance, the hall fell silent, captivated. When the film ended, a wave of applause erupted. Students stood, teachers clapped. Some even wiped tears. Anjali's parents were watching from India through a video call. After the film, they remained silent for a long moment, leaving Anjali breathless with worry. Then her father spoke, voice softer than she expected. If this makes you truly happy, then follow it. Her tears flowed freely, tears of relief, of victory. Lucky watched her from behind the crowd, smiling proudly, his heart overflowing. As for Lucky, his second exam approached again. This time he didn't fear. Before entering the exam hall, Anjali whispered, You were never a failure, Lucky. You just needed to believe. He walked inside with confidence he had never felt before. When the results came, the board flashed his name with a single glorious word, Pass. Before he could react, Anjali ran to him, hugging him tightly. You did it, she squealed. Lucky laughed, lifting her slightly off the ground. No, we did it. That evening, Lucky took Anjali to the same riverside bridge where their story had unknowingly begun. The sunset painted the sky in soft shades of orange. Lucky looked at her with a depth he had been holding inside for months. Anjali, when I failed, I thought it was the end of everything. But then you came, and suddenly failing didn't matter because I found something far more important. Anjali's cheeks warmed, her heartbeat quickening. Lucky gently held her hand. I don't know what the future looks like, but can we walk it together? Anjali looked at him deeply, eyes shining with emotion. I came here feeling lost, she whispered, but you made me believe in my dream. So yes, we'll walk together, and if someday you fail again, Lucky chuckled. That's likely. Anjali smiled. I'll still be here, pulling you up. They stood hand in hand as the city lights shimmered like 1,000 blessings. And in that moment, they realized something simple yet profound. Sometimes destiny breaks you only to help you find the person who will make you whole again. The end.